So we're going to talk today about musicals based upon pure fantasy, and I'm going to start with Avenue Q, the Tony Award-winning musical that upset Wicked. It was so clever and so incredibly on target, talking about 20-somethings who were raised in an atmosphere where they got awarded for just showing up more times this year than last year. And Avenue Q, with an irreverent sense of humor, sort of like Sesame Street for young adults, triggered everybody's imagination. Very, very clever in its way. And, every puppeteer had a collection of character puppets. It wasn't just one puppet they had to learn how to master. They had to learn how to master 5 or 6 multiple puppets of the same character. And after a while, you stopped watching the puppeteers. You were really watching the people. And that's what made Avenue Q truly so cool.
Morning, Brian. How's life?
Disappointing.
What's the matter?
When I was little, I thought I would be
What?
a big comedian on late night TV.
Oh,
But now I'm 32, and as you can see, I'm not.
nope.
Oh well, it sucks to be me.
No.
It sucks to be me.
No.
It sucks to be broke and unemployed and turning 33. It sucks to be me.
Oh, you think your life sucks?
I think so.
Your problems aren't so bad. I'm kind of pretty and pretty damn smart.
You are.
Thanks. I like romantic things like music and art. And as you know, I have a gigantic heart. So why don't I have a boyfriend? It sucks to be me.
Me too.
It sucks to be me.
It sucks to be me. It sucks to be Brian.
And Kate.
To not have a job.
Ta-da, have a date.
It sucks to be me.
Come on, it's just $10. I'll pay it back tomorrow.
You wanna know what? You leave your clothes out. You put your feet on my chair.
Oh, yeah? You do such anal things like ironing your underwear.
You make that very small apartment we share a hell.
So do you. That's why I'm in hell too.
It sucks to be me.
No, it sucks to be me. It sucks to be me.
Is there anybody here it doesn't suck to be?
It sucks to be me.
You think your life sucks? I'm coming to this country for opportunities. Try to work in Korean, Daddy, but I am Japanese. But with hard work, I earned 2 master's degrees in social work. And now I am therapist, but I have no clients. And I have an unemployed fiance, and we have lots of bills to pay. It sucks to be me. It sucks to be me. I say it sucks, 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 sucks. It sucks to be me.
Excuse me. Hey there. Sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for a place to live.
You need to talk to the superintendent. Yo, Gary!
I'm coming, I'm coming. Oh my God, it's Gary Coleman.
Yes, I am. I'm Gary Coleman from TV's Different Strokes. I made a lot of money that got stolen by my folks. Now I'm broke and I'm the butt of everyone's jokes. But I'm here, superintendent, and having you cute.
It sucks to be you.
You win.
It sucks to be you.
I feel better now.
Try having people stopping you to ask you, what you talking about, Willis? It gets old.
It sucks to be you. On Avenue Q.
Sucks to be me.
On Avenue Q.
Sucks to be you.
On Avenue Q.
Sucks to be us, but not when we're together.
We're together
Here on Avenue Q.
We live on Avenue Q. Our friends do too. Till our dreams come true. We live on Avenue Q.
Here's the keys.
Welcome to Avenue Q.
Avenue Q, very clever with the puppets talking about life as a 20-something.
Hey, Kate Monster?
Yeah.
You're a monster, right?
Yeah.
And you know Trekkie Monster, my neighbor, he's a monster.
Right.
So are you two, like, related?
What? Princeton? I find that racist.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I was just asking.
Well, it's a touchy subject. No, not all monsters are related. You know, you should be much more careful when you're talking about the sensitive subject of race.
Yeah. Well, look who's talking.
What do you mean?
Well, you're the one who's always complaining because your students are always cursing.
Yeah, well, they get that from Ram.
You're a little bit racist.
Well, you're a little bit too.
I guess we're both a little bit racist.
Admitting it is not an easy thing to do.
But I guess it's true.
Between me and you, I think
Everyone's a little bit racist sometimes. Doesn't mean we go around committing hate crimes. Look around and you will find no one's really colorblind. Maybe it's a fact we all should face. Everyone makes judgments based on race. Now, not big judgments like who to hire or who to buy a newspaper from. No, just little judgments like thinking that Mexican busboys should learn to speak freaking English.
right.
Everyone's a little bit racist today. So everyone's a little bit racist. Okay. Ethnic jokes might be uncouth, but you laugh because they're based on truth. Don't take them as personal attacks. Everyone enjoys them. So relax. All right, stop if you've heard this one.
Okay.
All right, there's a plane going down. There's only one parachute, and there's a rabbi, a priest.
And a black guy!
Yeah.
What you talking about, Kate? Ooh, you were telling a black joke.
Oh, well, sure, Gary, but lots of people tell black jokes.
I don't.
Well, of course you don't. You're black. But I bet you tell Polish jokes, right?
Well, sure I do. Those stupid Polish people.
Hey, guys, what are you laughing about?
Racism.
Cool.
Hey, come back here, take that recyclables.
What's that mean?
Recyclables. Don't laugh at her. How many languages do you speak?
Oh, come off it, Brian.
Everyone's a little bit racist.
I'm not.
Oh, no.
Nope. How many Oriental wives have you got?
What? Brian!
Brian, buddy, where you been? The term is Asian American.
I'm sorry, honey. I love you.
And I love you.
But you're racist too.
Yes, I know. The Jews have all the money and the whites have all the power. And I'm always in taxi cab with Liva who no shower. Me too, me too. I can't even get a taxi.
Everyone's a little bit racist. It's true. But everyone is just about as racist as you. If we all could just admit that we are racist a little bit, and everyone stop being so PC, maybe we could live in harmony.
Everyone's a little bit racist.
The thing with Avenue Q is it took subjects like that and addressed them honestly. It's a very clever, well thought out using puppets to direct the topic. The Drowsy Chaperone started as a skit at a wedding rehearsal dinner. A young writing couple getting married in Toronto, and they put together a skit about a musical coming to life in somebody's apartment. Well, it's a spoof of a 1920s musical where this lonely guy is sitting in a chair putting on a record, and the whole musical comes to life around him. It was a terrific conceit and really a very clever satire of musicals of the 1920s. Boy gets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl, mistaken identities, and so forth.
On. And above all, I thank Alan Bennett. Over the past few years, we've done 4 plays and 2 movies together, and he is the best luck I've ever had. Thank you very much.
He said thank you. Suppose I should have chosen a less popular phrase. It's a little drinking game. Anyway, hello. How are we this evening? Good. I'm feeling a little blue myself. Whenever I'm feeling this way, blue, I like to listen to my music. So I was going through my records this morning, and what did I find but my favorite show, The Drowsy Chaperone. Oh, good, you know it. 1928. Let me read you what it says in the back. Mix-ups, mayhem, and a gay wedding. Well, of course, the phrase gay wedding has a different meaning now, but back then it just meant fun. That's all this show is, fun. Well, I love playing my records. It's as if the musicals come to life in my apartment. Oh, this is one of my favorite songs. It's called Show Off. In it, the bride, the glamorous Janet Vandegraff, entertains questions from reporters as she lounges by the pool.
Miss Vandegraff, is it true you're giving up a successful career to marry a man on the stage?
Yes.
So you won't be returning to the stage ever?
I shan't.
You shan't?
I shan't.
I have a question. How can you give up the footlights when you know very well you got grease paint in your
Oh,
veins?
Victor, if you think this is about vanity, you couldn't be more wrong. I don't want to show off no more. I don't want to sing tunes no more. I don't want to ride moons no more. I don't want to show off. I don't want to wear this no more. I'll play the saucy Swiss Miss no more. I'll blow my signature no more. I don't want to show off.
Janet, please.
Don't try to control me. I've made up my mind, and that's it. I quit. I'm leaving it all behind. I don't want to be cute no more. Make the gentleman hoot no more. I don't want to wear fruit no more. I don't want to show off.
She don't want to show off no more.
Not me.
Even in the good news no more.
Page 3.
Get the Louis reviews no more.
Ah, gee. I don't want to show off.
She don't want to show off.
I don't want to show off.
She don't want to show off no more. Off no more.
Not me. I don't want to show off.
She don't want to show off. Show off. Don't want to show off no more.
Please, no more attention. I counted to 10, and I'm through. Farewell. Adieu. You'll never see this. You'll never see this. Never see this. Never see that. Never see these again. I don't want to change keys no more.
Truly clever, satirizing 1920s musicals. And of course, that was Sutton Foster, who's going to be Marion the librarian in
On.
Cats. Totally in fantasy. I mean, who ever heard of cats talking? Well, the idea came the T.S. Eliot collection, Old Opossum's Tales, very well known in England, and cats are very popular house pets in England. And when T.S. Eliot died, he made it very clear that these poems could be musicalized, but you would have to use all of the poems and link them together. Well, that was really problematic, and Cameron McIntosh was, dealing with this and trying to figure out what in the world were they going to do to tie this together, and they really couldn't find the link. It just didn't hold together well. Well, as they were doing research on this, they discovered a couplet written down on a piece of paper: midnight, not a moon on the pavement, the moon lost his memory, she's smiling alone. And that suddenly triggered the idea of creating an opportunity where these cats were going to audition for their next Jellicle life, as mentioned in the poetry. It was groundbreaking, dazzling staging with hydraulic lifts, the cats, audiences sitting on the stage, cats crawling around everywhere, and either you loved it or you hated it. Now, when it opened in London, it had mostly negative reviews, and it was the idea that the poems were so well known that propelled it. It did amazing box office, shocking everybody involved. And when it came to the United States, Andrew Lloyd Webber didn't want to take any chances. He approaches Barbra Streisand, of course, and the song Memory is recorded, goes to the top of the pop charts months before Cats opening, and it only ran something like 14 years. However, the New York Times said of it at the time, at times you wanted to feel like you could curl up and take a cat nap. But it was the emphasis on the high definition staging and all of that that made it truly, I guess, an exciting event. I remember seeing it in 1984. I had a big event personally happen that day, and I thought it was boring. And I thought maybe my mind just wasn't in the place to watch it. Went back and saw it later, and I didn't think much more of it. But boy, ticket prices were sure starting to climb. This is when tickets went over the $50 mark. Wouldn't we love to see those again? And you really started to set the tone that if I was going to spend that much money on a musical, it better dazzle me. Well, this is where effects and large casts and amazing staging became the centerpiece of the Broadway musical, most of them imported from Britain at the time.
Are you blind when you're born? Can you see in the dark?
Dare you look at a king?
Would you sit on his throne? Can you save your bite that it's worse than your bark?
Are you cock of the walk?
When you're walking alone?
Because Jellicles can and Jellicles do. Jellicles do and Jellicles can. Jellicles can and Jellicles do. Jellicles do and Jellicles can. Jellicles can and Jellicles do.
We can dive through the air like a flying trapeze. We can turn double somersaults, bounce on a tire. We can run up a wall. We can swing through the trees.
We can balance on bars. We can walk on a wire. Jellicles can and Jellicles do. 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 Jellicles songs for Jellicle cats. Jellicle songs for Jellicle cats. Jellicle songs for Jellicle cats. Jellicle songs for Jellicle cats.
Can you sing at the same time in all in one key?
begin. Sunlight through the trees in summer, endless masquerading, like a flower as the dawn is breaking, the memories fading. Touch me, it's so easy to leave me all alone with the memory of my days in the sun. If you touch me, you'll understand what happiness is. Look, a new day has begun.
Now, an interesting story about Betty Buckley. She was Elaine Page in London was the original Grisabella, and Elaine Page in turn replaced none other than Judi Dench, who broke her leg or something and couldn't continue with the part. When Betty Buckley was cast, she wasn't giving Cameron McIntosh and Trevor Nunn what they had hoped for, and Trevor Nunn, who was directing, tells everybody, if Betty comes over to have a cup of coffee, get up and move. If Betty comes over and sits down with you at lunch, get up and leave. If Betty starts to talk to you in the hallway, walk away. He wanted her to feel the total devastation of being isolated from everybody. And then the night of dress rehearsal, the final dress, he's still not happy with her. He walks over to her as she's about to make her entrance, and he says to her, the biggest mistake I made with this production was casting you. And imagine how devastated that must have made her feel. She goes out, she gives a rendition of Memory that was heartbreaking, much as Cameron McIntosh and Trevor Nunn were looking for. And when she came off stage, he was there waiting for her. She's in tears. And he says to her, you know what, Betty, I'm sorry I had to do that to you, but that's what I'm looking for. So it shows you what a director will go through to create the characters that they need. Okay, moving on. Starlight Express. I always called this Cats on Roller Skates. Very similar to Cats. Train cars being portrayed as humans. And you'll get the gist.
Our second musical nominee began as a children's concert written by a father for his son. That father, composer Andrew Lloyd Webber, decided to bring his story of a cross-country contest between a set of racing trains to theatrical life and created the stunning visual spectacular Starlight Express.
The sea will part before you. Stop the rain, turn the tide. If only you use the power within you. Need and beg the world to turn around and help you. If you draw on what you have within you, somewhere deep inside. won't let you down. Diesel is for unbelievers. Electricity is wrong. Steam has got the power that will pull us along. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. To sing our hope and all of the hope. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. So let the water boil, look like it's oil. At the end of the tunnel, there's a light. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. We see the light. Let the angel get the golden magic pill. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. We see that distant dream that tells you it's at the end of the
Now, they say today that everyone has to be a triple threat. You have to be able to sing, dance, and act. Then you can add on roller skating. It ran in England forever. It did not run a long time here in the U.S. At all. Allegro, going back to Rodgers and Hammerstein, 1947, after Carousel, Richard Rodgers wanted to write a musical that talked about the challenges that maturation and growing older faces with an everyman kind of a character. Agnes de Mille didn't help it any by creating a Greek chorus who commented on the action. And quite frankly, it just didn't sit well with people because it was way too highbrow, I think, for the time. This was maybe one of the greatest failures that Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein ever imagined. They took this personally because they thought it was such brilliant storytelling. People have tried to revive it, taking out the Greek chorus aspect, and it certainly plays. But, it's not one of the great five of the Rodgers and Hammerstein canon.
Nice night.
Just the kind of night I hoped for.
Did you? Did you think much about tonight, too?
Did you?
Quite a lot.
You are never away from your home in my heart.
I always think about you quite a lot.
There is never a day.
There is never a day when you... Jenny, I think about you all the time.
Do you, Joe?
Every minute. You are never away from your home in my heart.
There is never a day when you don't play a part in a word that I say or a sight that I see.
You are never away, and I'll never be free.
Your smile on my face or a song that I sing. You're a rainbow I chase on a morning in spring. You're a star in the lace of a wild willow tree, in the green leafy lace of a wild willow tree. But tonight you're no star,
Clinging closely to me.
the love in my heart that I dreamed you could be.
You
And as the character never grows older, that becomes the fantasy of the piece. Peter Pan, of course, is fantasy right from the beginning. The boy that won't grow up, Never Neverland, and of course, Captain Hook.
We have a mother, and us, we have a mother. Look, a cake. A cake. Now, children, I'm sure this cake is much too damp and rich for you. I want tea. Now, let's go inside. And before I put you to sleep, I'll have just enough time to finish the story of Cinderella.
The game is up. Those boys have found a mother.
What's a mother?
I must think.
What tempo, Captain?
Tempo, 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 tempo. A tarantella.
A tarantella!
Methinks I see a spark, a gleam, a glimmer of a plan, with which perhaps I may redeem the honor as a man. Kidnap and deceive the boys, and you'll have hooked the bank. For when the time is ripe, you'll see the children walk the plank. Oh, and was such a princely plot concocted by another to murder all the boys and keep the Wendy for a mother. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. Oh, and keep the Wendy for a mother. To the ship.
Now, of course, Peter Pan was meant to not really be a television musical. It was meant to be a touring Broadway musical that would be made into a film. And Mary Martin's husband realized that Mary would not be cast as Peter Pan in the film version. So he makes a deal with NBC to do it on television. It was done 3 times. The first time in 1955 in black and white. The second time in 1957 in color, and I'm sorry, no videotape existed for either of those. And then in 1960, the version that you're seeing here was finally refilmed, and Mary Martin wanted it done every year, just as The Wizard of Oz was being shown. But Mary Martin's husband was always making a mess of negotiations and her plans. And it was only shown twice more, once in 1964, once in 1965, and has not been seen since. They decided that it would be far easier to film it with someone else than have to negotiate with Mary Martin's husband. Lil Abner, another musical right out of the comic strips, totally made up again, but Abner was always commenting on politics and things that were in the news, and here we are in Dogpatch.
Well, there ain't no crooks up there, Pappy. As far as I can see, there's a very nice mess of people. And I can tell you all this much, the country's doing just fine. Right, Sam?
You was so right, boy. Them city folks and we'uns are pretty much alike. Though they ain't used to living in the sticks. We don't like stoner seamen, but we is in agreement when we gets down to talking politics. The country's in the very best of hands. The best of hands. The best of hands. The Treasury says the national debt is climbing to the sky.
And government expenditures have never been so high.
It makes a feller get a gleam of pride within his eye to see how our economy expands. The country's in the very best of hands. The country's in the very best of hands. The best of hands. The best of hands. The farm bill should be 89% of parity.
Another fella recommends it should be 93.
But 80-95%, who cares about degree? It's parity that no one understands. The country's in the very best of hands. Us voters is connected to the nominee. The nominee's connected to the Treasury. when he ain't connected to the treasury. He sits around in his thigh bones. They sits around in this place they got, this big congressional parking lot. Just sits around in there, you know what? Up there they calls in their thigh bones. Them bones gonna rise again, gonna exercise the franchise again, gonna tax us up to our eyes again. When it gets them off in their thigh bones, the country's in the very best of hands, the best of hands, the best of hands. Them GOPs and Democrats each hates the other one.
They's always criticizing how the country should be run.
But neither tells the public what the other's gone and done, as long as no one knows where no one stands. The country's in the very best of hands. The money that they taxes us, that's known as revenues.
They compound the collateral, subtracts the residues.
Don't worry about the principal and interest that accrues. They're shipping all that stuff to foreign lands. The country's in the very best of hands.
You know, what's so interesting about that was written about 60 years ago. And you listen to it, you think anything has changed. It sure hasn't. Camelot, of course, a musical totally based upon fantasy of a time and a place that just didn't exist. And I think we've got something right here. No? Wicked, of course, the musical based upon The Wizard of Oz. And, you know, I think if it's The Wizard of Oz, anything sells. And Wicked got beaten out by Avenue Q at the Tonys. And interestingly enough, Wicked's been running for 17 years as well. It's a juggernaut of a musical, and this is Joel Grey, who was the original wizard.
My girls, Kristen Chenoweth and Adina Menzel, and our spellbinding colleagues from Wicked!
Don't be afraid.
I'm not. It's the wizard who should be afraid of me. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and sleep. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. Quick, get on.
What?
Come with me. Think of what we could do together. Unlimited. Together we're unlimited. Together we'll be the greatest team there's ever been. Glen our dreams the way we planned them. If we work in tandem, there's no fight we cannot win. Just you and I fighting gravity. When you and I defying gravity, they'll never bring us down. Well, are you coming?
Elfie, you're trembling. I hope you're happy. Now that you're choosing this.
You too. I hope it brings you bliss.
I really hope you get it.
And you don't live to regret it. I hope you're happy in the end. I hope you're happy, my Let go of me, do you hear? It's not her. She had nothing to do with it. I'm the one you want. It's me. Help me. It's me. So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. To those who ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I am defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity, and soon I'll match them in renown. And nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me
My girl.
Stop the World I Want to Get Off is another type of a fantasy. It was the story of a man and every man who faced the challenges of the world, and it ran for a year and a half. It's never seen today, but it ran at the time because of the music that became so popular, and it was everywhere.
You like it? One of Phyllis Diller's housecoats. You're probably wondering why a grown man should put on rubbish like this. Well, in 1961, I had the great privilege of appearing in a Broadway show called Stop the World I Want to Get Off that Mr. Brickus and I wrote. And in this play, I played a character called Little Chap, sort of a lovable sex maniac. Nothing alters, folks. Nothing changes. And I did about 1,000 performances of this one show. And every night, same thing. I used to sit in front of the mirror and do this funny makeup. And the producers thought it might be a good idea to give you some idea of what we went through before we sang what is probably one of the best-known songs, if I may say so, in recent years. A song called Stop the World. Okay, folks, and for my next drink, a song called Who Can I Turn To? No, I'll try again. A song called What Kind of Fool Am I? And you know what's so extraordinary is that if Leslie Brickus and I weren't greedy, we could live off the proceeds of this song for the rest of our lives. But we keep so many people, folks, we have to keep working. Okay, gang, here we go. What kind of fool am I? Never fell in love. Seems that I'm the only one that I have been thinking of. What kind of man is this? An empty shell, a lonely cell in which an emptier heart must dwell. What kind of clown am I? What do I know of life? Why can't I cast away this mask of play and live my life? Why can't I fall in love like any other man? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool I am. What kind of lips are these? Lied with every kiss, that whispered empty words of love that left me alone like this. What kind of eyes are these that could not see what could be seen by everybody else but me? What kind of clown am I?
What do I know of life? Why can't I cast away this mask of life, live my life? Why can't I fall in love till I don't give a damn? And maybe then I know I turned a fool.
Interestingly enough, Leslie Bricusse just died in the past week. And, you would think Anthony Newley was a big personality in the States. He really was not. He was a big British personality. Now, Roar the Grease Paint, again, using the idea of fantasy and a clown and a sad sack to tell life story.
My heart wants to know, and so I must go where destiny leads me. No star to guide me, and no one beside me. I'll go on my way, and after the day, the darkness will hide me. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I'm after. I'll throw off my sorrow, beg, steal, or borrow my share of laughter. With you I could learn to, with you on a new day. But who can I turn to if you turn away? No star to guide me, and no one beside me. I'll go on my way, and after the day, the darkness will hide me. And maybe tomorrow I'll find what I'm after. I'll throw off my sorrow, beg, steal or borrow my share of laughter. With you I could learn to, with you on a new day. But who can I turn to if you tomorrow I'll find what I'm after. I'll throw off my sorrow, beg, steal, or borrow my share of laughter. With you I could learn to, with you on a new day. But who can I turn to if you
Young Frankenstein, another musical based upon something totally made up. The Mel Brooks musical, the follow-up to The Producers. Susan Stroman, who directed it, really almost killed it by making it way too loud, by tiring out the audience. The script was not as typically funny as The Producers. And Mel Brooks and the producer team, they thought that they could be thieves and charge people $450 a seat just because people would want to be in that theater. And it never really became what they thought it would become. I don't know why we keep going back to that. Let's try this now. Here we go.
That's what New York City looks like. Our next guests are currently starring in Broadway's newest hit musical. Please welcome Roger Bart, Sutton Foster, and Christopher Fitzgerald from Young Frankenstein. Kids?
By the way, how are we getting to the castle?
We Strophfair, de Schlagenwagen, Suchen, Frutchen.
What's that?
A hayride. Roll, roll, roll in the hay. Roll, roll your troubles away. Then life is awful. Just jump on a throttle and roll, roll in the hay. Roll, roll, roll in the hay. Roll, roll, do it all day. When spirits are sagging, just jump in a wagon and roll, roll in the hay. I'm very high-spirited, Doctor. I hope you won't hold it against me.
Oh, I'll try not to.
Hitch those horses up for a gay ride. We'll have lots of fun. Nothing's better than a hayride underneath the sun. Roll, roll, roll in the hay. Sometimes love finds a way. You might feel a kiss from an unwitting miss who's not too resistant to play. So let's roll, 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 roll in the hay. So, have you thought of any ways you could use me?
2, and I'm working on a 3rd.
Oh, good. Does that mean I'm hired?
Well, a huge part of me is pointing in that direction.
Roll, roll in the hay. You're the lady, you're the lady. Rollin' it, rollin' it. You're the lady, you're the lady. Rollin' it, rollin' it. Come take a hayride and take your breath away. Right, rollin' it, rollin' the hay. You're the lady, 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 you're the lady. You're the lady, 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 lady. You're the lady, you're the lady, you're the lady, you're the lady, you're the lady.
What's that?
Werewolves.
Werewolf?
Werewolves.
What?
Werewolves. There. Castle.
Why are you talking?
I don't know! I thought you wanted me to.
Well, I don't.
Have it your way. I'm easy.
You're the lady, oh, dee-dee. You're the lady, oh, dee-dee. You're the dee-dee. You're the dee-dee. You're the lady, you're the dee. You're the lady, you're the lady. Honey, you're the lady, you're the lady. Honey, you're the dee-dee. Home in the dee. You're the lady, oh, dee-dee. You're the lady, oh, dee-dee. You're the lady, you're the lady. You're the lady, you're the dee. You're the lady, 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 Come with me and roll.
When it was done in London with a much smaller cast and a different feel, it worked far better.
You're too kind. Ladies and Transylvanians, it is my great privilege tonight to introduce to you a man whose family name has for years been both famous and infamous. Yeah. So, without further ado, do let me present Dr. Frederick Frankenstein and the cast of Young Frankenstein putting on the Ritz.
you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types, where it ain't coat pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper! Come, let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst. Put it on the wrist! Put it on the wrist! Put it on the wrist!
And the irony of that is that song was written by Irving Berlin, not Mel Brooks, and they had to pay Irving Berlin's estate to really use that piece. So I'm just looking to see if there's any comments that I need to address, and I'm glad everybody was talking to each other. And in any event, Captain Hook was playing the pirate. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed today. I was just reading through the comments very quickly. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me, so let me allow you all to unmute. If anybody wants to ask anything, raise your hand, give me a shout. I can talk for a moment or two.
Steve, you said something about Funny Girl coming to Broadway.
Yes, it's supposed to open in April, and I've requested a group in May. I think it's May the 8th. As soon as I know, you'll know. And I'm waiting to hear that any day now.
Any
Do you
idea
have
how
any
much? Do you have any
Who's who?
idea who's going to be starring in it?
Yes, Beanie Feldstein. You're now going to say, who the heck is that?
Who the
She
heck
played
is
Minnie
that?
Fay in Hello, Dolly, and she's currently portraying Monica Lewinsky in the FX television series about Clinton and
Impeachment.
Lewinsky, which I know we're all watching with great
Impeachment. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, really. But that's who she is. She's also Ben Feldman's best friend, if that matters. But she's very, very talented. The buzz on her originally was that she's a little bit larger than what you would picture Fanny Bryce to be. But look, whoever's going to take the part, the first sentence of every review is going to be, well, she's not Barbara Streisand, but. And this is why it hasn't been done in 58 years on a New York stage. But look, and Harvey Firestein is rewriting the script. So, we'll all see. But look, I'll have seats. We'll go. We'll enjoy it. And that'll be what we'll do. I do want to mention again, I have a couple seats left for Company on January the 8th. Really, it's so exceptional how they've rewritten it with a woman at the center. And Sondheim was involved doing that. Saw it in London. It's outstanding. And it's really going to be great to see Patti LuPone doing that. And then I'm going to have a Moulin Rouge group I'm going to be able to announce in the next few days. And people have asked me, Steve, are we going to go back to see Moulin Rouge? And yes, the answer to that is yes. So anybody have anything else you want to know?
Yeah, Steve, it's Robin. Any idea
Hi.
how much those tickets will be for Funny Girl?
Nope.
No. Okay.
I mean, the Music Man tickets are, it's unbelievable. I mean, there's a pent up demand for a lot of these things. And, Music Man, the tickets are outrageous. But at least we have really good seats. That's the good news. Yeah, Tony, are you asking me a question? I see your hand
I
up.
want to know, are you going to start overnight in the hotel visits anytime soon? And also, what do you think a ticket to 6 would go for? If you
I've
got
already
it?
done 2 trips to 6, and we've been doing it for $399 for the day.
Are you going to be able to stay in hotels again?
Well, I'm waiting. I'm going to probably do it next summer. I've got to wait a little while. I'll tell you, New York is not quite operating like it used to. So if you're on a trip with me and I used to hand you your choice for a dinner bag on the way home, I have to call it in 2 days in advance so they know they have enough bread. You wouldn't think, but somebody walking in with an order for 30 or 40 sandwiches, they just may not have enough bread if that's unusual for their business. So I have to call that in advance. A lot of different things are happening. You have to be vaccinated to go to the theater. You have to wear a mask. You have to show your ID and a Vax card to go into the restaurants. It's just not the way it used to be. And when you see the streets without all the vendors everywhere, it's different, but it's coming back. Broadway tickets are up. I see someone raising their hand there. Go ahead, Curtis.
Yeah, I was just in New York last weekend to see Tina, and there were street vendors on every corner. 6th Avenue was shut down on
Right.
Saturday with all these food vendors. And I went with my daughter. I let her pick all the restaurants because she's good at researching it. But and then Friday night we saw Lorna Luft at 54 Below, which was a great show. So she's
Great.
back touring again. But
Yeah.
yeah, things that are really opening up. But yeah, every place we went, we had to show a ID and a vaccine card to get to, not retail, but every theater, every bar, every restaurant.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
all the outdoor seating is great too. All the restaurants have like doubled their capacity with outdoor seating on the street. So
Well, but I'll tell you, it's just not quite yet what it was, but it's getting back.
Oh,
Cozy,
yeah.
you have a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Um,
Yeah, Cozy, go ahead.
yeah, when did you say you were going to Funny Girl?
It's going to be in May, and I think I have a second group in August. I've requested two block groups. I want to tell you, I think it's May 8th, but don't quote me because I haven't seen the order come back yet. But I do have the request in. Moulin Rouge is going to be March 9th. If you're going to the Music Man with me and you have your seats, it's either March 2nd or 5th. And the new Music Man block that I just got is Wednesday, July 6th. I was really lucky to get that. You cannot get Music Man seats. So, if you didn't get into the groups that are already going and you're interested, that's there. And again, company on January the 12th. Everything else I have, we're lucky. People are really thrilled to be going. And what I'm doing is I'm getting a far larger bus than the people I'm taking. So, for example, to see Girl from the North Country, I'm taking a bus with 25% more capacity than the people will be on the bus to give people room to spread out. I'm really thinking about what everybody's needs are. We're doing as best we can. And I'll tell you, the people who went on the first two trips have really, really said they enjoyed it. So, whenever you're ready, I'm ready to see you all. Anybody want to know anything else about anything?
Steve?
Yeah, go
Steve?
ahead, Winnie.
I stayed I stayed at the Westin Hotel, and I know the hotels are starting to book again.
Yeah.
The prices might be up a little, but they're starting to get pretty full. So if you're planning an overnight trip, you might, make
I'm
some
not going to do
inquiries.
anything overnight until summer.
Okay.
Because I
But
want
I
to make.
must tell you, you did a fabulous job on the last 6 trip. It
Thank you.
was incredible. And Sunday was such a great day to go because you didn't have to worry about as much traffic. And there, it just was, the theater was full, but you made it very easy for us. And thank you so much.
And thank you for sharing that. Look, I thought everybody just had a great time, and the feedback that everybody's given me about the trip since has just really been great. So when we can do overnights, we will. Overnights are just a little more complicated right now. And part of it is, it's just a whole lot of stuff. I want to make sure the hotels are providing the service that we need. They're not all providing full services yet, which is an additional complication. But yes, we're going to do overnights again, and we're going to keep the day trips going in the meantime. So anyway, I'll see you all next Friday morning, same time, same place. Do me a favor, if you don't have the link, don't wait till 10:25 on Friday morning to tell me, because I may not see. I thought I saw a hand going up on the right. Did I see someone else go up? Okay, everybody, it's great to see you all. Take care. Bye-bye.